Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Bronze Reaper podcast. I'm your host, Rosalind Perkins, and we got a quick, fast, Ricky Bobby good show today. Was TarIq Nasheed right about the Democrats with reparations? I think this will be an important topic because we've been dibbling and dabbling in this, these type of questions probably 8 months ago. I just want to bring it back up and also see if anything has changed. Before we start the show, please like and subscribe and comment in the live chat. And also we got another announcement. And also you can only comment in the live chat is if you are a subscriber. So definitely subscribe. Um yeah, subscribe. And also, if you want to donate to the channel, we have Cash App and we have Super Chat as well. So definitely um, try to donate. I think that's very important to the system that we have here. If anything, give me a second. No. So yeah, definitely donate. If it's $5, $10, it's cool. Definitely donate. So my big announcement is that for the next month or two, I will be shutting down the what's going on, fresh as always. I will be shutting down the phones and also the Streamlabs for a while. My business partners want a better system. So if anything, we will do it probably once a week. When somebody calls in and talks and want to say their part. If anything, we will talk to you in the live chat. If we can get to you. The reason why one of my business partners, he was saying that. Give me a second. One of my business partners was saying that he don't think it's working, especially with donations and we have a project coming through and stuff like that. He was saying that what he said we well he said technically me I give out the phone line too loosely. And I told him no, there's certain people I'll let on the line. I do want to let Shabak on the line, but he told me stop letting him on. You know, he was telling me Shabaka is very divisive. He said if I'm gonna let Shabaka on, let him on once a month. I mean once a week. You know, and only for like 5-10 minutes. This is what my business partners have been saying. He's like, yeah, don't let him on too much. You know, and I was like, I'll think about it, but personally, I thought it was working. They tell me no, it's not working. You know, and he's like, yeah, Shabaka's a good guy and all that other bullshit, but they told me stop letting him on. No ands and buts about it. They said stop letting him on. He talks stupid. You know, he has no value really. He's like, there's a lot of stuff that they said, man, but they told me stop letting him on. You know, and especially he's like, yo, and they kind of blame me for it because they said I gave him a pass to like basically talk stupid. I could have said, well, you're wrong. I was like, all right, cool. You know, he got to pay to get on. You know what, fresh always. Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking about that too. I think he needs to pay to get on. If not, stay in the live chat. You know, that's what he was telling me. He was like, he was like, all right, I'll tell you what they said. Personally, they was like, yo, Shabaka, he don't brings no value. He's a degenerate. What else did they say? He don't know what he's talking about. Um, what else? He don't listen. He don't answer questions. He just wants to talk. He was like, don't let him on. And they were saying once a month, let Shabaka on. So I don't know, Shabaka. My business partners are telling me not to let you on. You um, I don't know what to say. Why runs because like no one? No, my business partner said that. I do have business partners. When I started the show, I wasn't the only one. I named it. I did the show, but they helped me. They was the ones like, okay, yo, put effort into it. They was like, how much money you want me to put into it? And I told them I got it. You know, I got a decent job, so I can buy everything because it's just it is what it is. But yeah, they was saying that they was like, nah, don't let him on. It was like, yo, that shit that he did Friday. And the thing about it, I think it was because of the shit that he did Friday. And I asked him too. I was like, yo, is it because what he was doing Friday? He was like, yeah. He's like, yo, I see a pattern. It was like, I see a pattern. He's gonna keep on doing that shit. When you ask him a question, he's not gonna answer the question. So those type of people we cannot have on. We need, it was like they told me this, like, do you remember? They asked me, do you remember before we started this, what type of podcast that you want? I was like, yeah, I wanted a podcast where, like, you know what, I'm giving you a freedom to speak. You know how you feel, the questions that you want to ask. He's like, you're giving that, but at the end of the day, you still giving a lane to people that they don't want to. They don't want to solve problems. They don't want to answer questions. They don't want to take accountability for anything. So he's like, yo, you got to start, cutting off, you know, what was the word that he used? They said, um, yeah, they say cut off dead skin or some shit like that. They said some shit like that. And I was like, are you calling Shabaka a weak link? I was like, I think, and I always told him, I always told him, and I always defend Shabaka. And I said, Shabaka is he's important to the show. And there's like, how is he important if like every time you have a topic question, you're talking about foundational Black Americans? He's like, I understand that he has a grudge against them. He's like, but this isn't the show to do it. So I was like, all right. I wasn't too happy about it because, like I said, I do like Shabaka, but liking you doesn't mean that I'm supposed to have you on these type of shows. I was kind of pissed off about it this weekend. I'm gonna be personally honest. I was pissed off. I was like, damn, Shabaka's good. I think he's valuable to the show, but they say no, he's not. He's a waste of time. That's what they were saying. You know, he's stuck in his own ways. And don't forget, in Black Snow Bunny, can you know me? I always say Shabaka doesn't adapt, but I never said Shabaka is stuck in his own ways. I have never said that. I just said Shabaka can't adapt. They was telling me no, and like I know you like Shabaka, but at the end of the day, I'm not saying that I'm gonna block him. I'm just saying he can't jump. I can't drop a link for him no more. He don't need to be on the link, especially if he doesn't pay. He's like, and they told me that was the worst thing I ever did was like telling Shabaka he shouldn't give no donations. He said, "Yo," he said, Rosalind, this isn't charity. He's like, you have to still see this as a business. If you want to grow, you got to look at it as not just like something to have fun on. And I had to understand. I'm like I said, I'm not too happy about it, but I have to understand. You know. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't too happy about it though. Like I said, Black Snow Bunny King. I'm not. I'm just. I might have to do it once. I could probably only have them probably once every 2 weeks or once a week. And that's what they said. I fought for that. They were, like I said, they were fighting. They're saying once a month. So what do you want me to do? Let's do just a lot of talk. Yeah, thank you, Fresh, as always. It's like I said, I try to defend Shabaka, but I can't go against the people who are helping me build this company. You know, um, and when I said this is a company, because like I said, I'm also doing short films. My first starting of short films in September. You know, Shabaka's coming on here every day, just spreading nonsense, and he's not donating. You know, like even you. Thank God you don't jump on drop. I don't drop the link and you jump on it because they're gonna be like, "Yo, get this motherfucker off. Get this Rastafari motherfucker off." He's like, "Yo," and like I said, they watch the show. So it's like what Snow Bunny King. Let me ask you a question. If somebody who is helping you telling you that he does not bring no value to the show, the other person is saying like, "Yo, don't have him on." Period. What do you want me to do? I at least try to reason and say like, "Yo, we at least have him in the live chat." At least have him talk once or twice a week or so. I mean, or once or twice a week. I mean, every once a week or two. You know. So I fought for that for Shabaka. So I know you're mad, Black Snow Bunny King, but like, what do you want me to do? I can't do it. You know, and I can't do it for nobody's fucking feelings. And you know how I am. Like I always tell you, I'm not a fucking. I'm not Sally Struthers. I don't donate or I don't do charity for nobody. So it's what do you want me to do? You know, he could be in the live chat. You know, he can argue in the live chat. He can say as much as anti-black shit that he wants, but I just can't have him on. I can't have him on the show. Only once. Like I said, once every week or two. You know, and I'm gonna see how he does. Where I could say like, see, yo, he's valuable. You know, like I'm just being personally honest. First of all, he don't bring no volume to the show. He does not bring anything. So yeah, I know how you feel about your boy, but yeah, it just can't work like that. I can't have him on the show just spreading nonsense. You know. But yeah, let's get back into the show, man. That was the announcement. I know Shabaka ain't gonna be too happy about it, but I had to tell him I can't drop the link for you. Or people who don't donate can't be in the can't I can't drop the link for it if you don't donate. So I'm gonna be like, do you donate? If you say no, well, you can't be on here. You know. But yeah, let's jump into the show. Was TarIq Nasheed right about these Democrats with the reparations? I think this is a perfect thing to talk about, and the reason why it was so perfect is because I believe we should have been got reparations when these Democrats were being, our spokesperson, as per se. They were our spokesperson. But being our spokesperson, you got to talk for us. You have to be our moves, you know? And if you can't do that, you're no use to us. One thing I learned from the small hats is like, if I have no value for you, I don't need you here. So I think what they talk about and what they do is very important. You know, and this is just me. Um, I think the Democrats doesn't really have no value, not really enough value for Black Americans anymore. Black Americans is coming to a point where Black Americans are saying like, or foundational Black Americans is saying like, yo, why am I keep on fucking voting for you and you're not helping me? You're not making it comfortable for me to live. What was the whole use of you coming to my fucking community? You know, and I know a lot of them are not gonna like that, and a lot of them are fighting us over it. But they found out fighting us that you don't get good results fighting foundational Black Americans or even Black Americans, because the Black Americans per se is supporting foundational Black Americans because they're the same thing. No, it's the same lineage. You know, so yeah, it's coming to a point where, like I said, you gonna stay in line or you gonna go down with that fucking ship that you call the Democrat Party. You know, and the whole reason why I did that the Reparation show of the dark side of the Democrats, because the way how a lot of Black Americans see Democrats is we see them as our friends. They're not our friends. I personally don't think they have ever been our friends. You know, they always used Black Americans as a stepping stone. So this is why, like I said, and like the Democrats, like I said, like the Republicans, they haven't caught up with the new times. You know, it's just it is what it is. They haven't caught up Black Americans are where Black Americans right now know that they have power. Know that they could get busy out here. Know that they could disrupt anything and everything. So what can we say? You know, what can we really say about these Democrats? What a lot of us are saying now. Y'all haven't done nothing for us for the last 70 years. You know, my grandma is 88. And like, and I talk about my Grammy a lot, but my grandma was 88 years old, and she actually tells me what goes on. Give me a second, everybody. She tells me actually what goes on with a lot of these politics back in the day. And a lot of us was blind because we all only thing we believed in were the civil rights. But when the Democrats and the civil rights attach themselves to each other, I call it a problem. It always had been a problem because yes, they did have unity, but at the end of the day, unity for who? Unity for who? Now you got to understand a lot of this stuff, like even the lineage, the Black American lineage, it's coming out. Like a lot of this stuff is coming out where we are saying like, yo, you know what? That's not us. You know, it's like they're not us. These people you're trying to say that we are African, when we actually what part of Africa we're from. Only thing you give us is, oh, we're probably from some part of Western Africa. That's not really a complete answer. That's why I could say, okay, what part of America your family's from? I could say my family's from Selma, Alabama, Augusta, Georgia, St. Clair, Savannah. You know, I could say that, but a lot of these people can't say that about Africa. And I know, and put it this way, I know Africa has a crisis going on now, but this is what it's coming to. Instead of us was trying to help them and stuff like that, even though we had problems, they still made it hard for us in America. Now you have these like people who are Pan Africans or these Afrocentric people telling us that yo, we should go to Africa. We could do way better in Africa, but not telling us, but not acting like it like those countries that they want us to go to and fix are not third world countries. That's why sometimes I'll say this: some old school Africans, like the Africans who are like 60, 70 years old, that went to these colleges and stuff and got this education, sometimes I do listen to them because not like listen, but I listen to what they have to say. And sometimes you have to take that shit as face value about their country. And sometimes you don't. What I do is I listen to what they say and I look up what their country is and what their country has become. And I'm gonna be personally honest, like 80%, probably 90% of Africa I would never go to. No, that's just me. I wouldn't go to those type of countries. Those countries is not built for Black Americans because we're not used to like, yo, we don't want to go backwards. We want to go forwards. We can't go in forwards while going to a country that's damn near, destroyed. So yeah, it's I think that's something that we need to think about. But yeah, give me a second, everybody. I'm about to put up a poll. Yeah, I'm gonna put a poll up, everybody. Yeah, it's like 90%. Like 90% of Africa, I would never go to. I'd rather eat a glass sandwich. And it's I'm not saying they don't have beautiful spots, but they don't have spots where I would be like, oh my god, this is gonna be a life changing thing. Nah, I'm like, yo, fuck that. I'm not going to that fucking country. You lost your fucking mind. Um, give me a second. Give me a second, everybody. I'm making. But yeah, I didn't really even read the poll. I just put that up. Let me read this poll real fast. Was a Rosalind seeing? Give me a second. I gotta make that poll over. Was Rosalind? Give me a second, everybody. All right, I fixed it, everybody. But yeah, it's coming to a point. I'm gonna say this. Don't get me wrong. Like I tell people all the time, I do like Africa, but I just won't go. I don't see the whole reason of going to those type of countries. Like white. I remember this African told me white people go to Africa to make them appreciate loving America with some shit like that. And I said to myself, well, damn, that's pretty fucked up, because um, it just like I said, it doesn't make no sense to do shit like that, And I was like, all right, and I told him, all right, if you accept people going to your country and they're using you as a charity case, or giving your country violin vibes, and when I say violin vibes, like a sad song, so everybody can feel bad for you. No, it's just I personally, I would just never go there, nor I would bring my kids there for a vacation. You know, I don't know, man. And like, only way I'll go to Africa is to help Africa. And that's just me. I'll go to Africa to help Africa. Other than that, I don't need to be in Africa. You know, or any of these countries. If your country's a third world country, I'm not going over there just for vacation. You know, like, for example, like if I'm going to the Philippines, I'm going to Philippines to fuck. I'm going to Thailand to fuck. I'm not going there to sightsee in the fucking Amazon. No, fuck that shit. Niggas is That's why I'm gonna like. At least I could be honest with y'all. A lot of these people go to the Philippines and those, was it Southwest or Southeast Asian countries to fuck. They go over there to fuck the locals because they hear that they like foreigners. You know, that's why I always look at it like, why are these weird ass fucking white Europeans marrying these slurs of the Philippines? Isn't it weird that they're falling in love with you like so fast? You know, they telling you to shoot the club up and stuff like that, not pull out. It's like, come on. I'm just being personally honest. Like, my nigga, I get it if you want to be a 90-day fiance type of nigga, but that's what you're gonna get. Hold on one second. But yeah, like, I get it if you're doing a 90-day fiance type of shit, And I was like, yeah, my nigga, I can't judge you, but nigga, I'm not going to your country just to like go sightseeing. Who spends thousands of dollars to go? Well, yeah, Europeans do that shit. And especially if your shit ain't ancient. When did I become the topic? Shabaka, because my business partners told me don't drop the link for you like that ever again. He was saying, I'll tell you what both, because I told you in the beginning, but you just wasn't on here. They were saying Friday was probably one of the worst shows I ever did because of you. You know, and this is what I woke up to Saturday morning. I liked the show. I was sobered, but they were saying like, yo, Shabaka, you can't have people like that on the show because at the end of the day, if you're asking a question, you need the question answer. He said, I shouldn't be having to ask it 3 or 4 times. They said I believe that was the biggest problem, as I already told the audience. The biggest problem that you wasn't answering the questions. You won't answer the question, then you ask the question. So and that's why I say, yo, Shabaka, you can't do that. You know, and as I told Snow Bunny King, I defended you. And I say, yo, I think Shabaka's is very important and he's a very valuable person to the show. He's like, no, he's not. He's like, Shabaka's not valuable. He's a waste of time. That's what they said. And I'm using my words so you can understand. What's going on, Dorsey? Yeah, Shabaka. They told me don't have you on this. Don't ever drop the link for you ever again. Like I said, and like I told the audience, I fought for you to I dropped the link for you once a week. But they said don't ever drop. They were saying drop it once a month. You know, I said, what about three times, like three or four? I was like, what about like twice a week, three times a week, four times a week? They was like, no, absolutely not. It's like, yo, he's a waste of time. This is what they were saying about you, Shabaka. You know, but yeah, like I said, Shabaka, I try to defend you. I try to fight for you, man. They was like, fuck that. They was like, no, don't do it. Don't ever. There's like, don't ever drop the link for this guy. They think you're bugged out. They think you're bugged out your fucking mind, though. But it's not an emotional thing, Shabaka. It was more of a Yeah, the truth does hurt, Shabaka. That's what they were saying about you. They was like, yo, he's a waste of time. He doesn't answer questions. He talks about shit that you don't ask. He don't talk about the topic question. It's like Shabaka. I was arguing with them for like almost 3 hours. Like I cut down drinking and I wanted a drink after I was arguing with these motherfuckers for you. I did and we will answer questions. I will not stay. Shabaka, you're not even in Africa. You know. Dorsey, they said don't have him on here. They said Friday was probably one of the worst shows that they ever have seen. That's what they have said. They said that Friday was probably one of the worst shows, and they would say it was because of Shabaka. Those are my business partners. Bobby, Wiz Mason didn't say nothing. It was Bobby. It was because I have four. Bobby is me, Bobby, Wiz Mason, and my boy John. So, and I said his real name. Sorry, John. I said your real name. But Bobby said don't ever have you on there. They say Bobby said you're a waste of time. He said Bobby said, yo, Shabaka's a waste of time. He said, you argue with that guy, you won't get nothing solved. That's what he said. That's what Bobby said. You know. And if anything, Shabaka, I will tell Bobby to if I'll tell him if he ever sees you in the chat, I mean if you see you in the comments, talk to you directly. Comment to you directly. You know, give me a second. Give me a second, everybody. I'm still trying to, because I bought my daughter a new bed, and I want to see if this shit been sent out yet. But yeah, it's Shabaka. You sound like Donald Trump when he was on Face the Nation. Yeah, yeah, Dorsey. I don't think, and John is more of a. Damn, I'm sorry, John. I keep on saying your real name, but my business partners is both of them are too different. Bobby's more of an asshole. No, I met Bobby on X, and he helped me start my show. He has given money, so it's you're afraid of the truth. You are a Shabaka. It's like I said, it's not me. You got to talk to my business partners. They say you're a waste of time. They say, especially if you're not even donating. They say definitely you shouldn't be on there. And I was trying, like I said, Shabaka, I was trying. I gave you leverage. I gave you leverage of everything that I was doing, but they were saying stop doing that. You know, that's what they were saying. Say stop letting him jump, stop dropping the link for him. He has no value. That's what they're saying. It's like, yo, people don't care about that Pan African shit. It was like, yo, Oroshima, everything that you was saying was good. It's like, yo, but Shabaka, man, it's like, yo, how much you can keep on hearing that? How many questions that you can ask that this man won't answer? Like, why you keep? They was like, yo, and they were getting mad at me. Like, why you keep on asking the same question? Why is it taking you 10 minutes for him to answer a question that you asked 3 or 4 times? That's what they were saying, Shabaka. You know, like Shabaka, you can't get mad at me. You can't get mad at foundational Black Americans. Those were my people that told you not to come on the show. Those were my people saying that, like, yo, this old nigga's a waste of time. Especially if you don't give money and you told them not to give money. And I had to say, yeah, you're right. It was funny in the beginning, but, wasting time with this nigga for 30, 40 to an hour and a half with him is a waste of time. You know? Nigga, you could be the king of England. Them niggas still said don't have you on there, Shabaka. Like Shabaka, this is what I'm talking about too. You're a waste of time. You're so African. Shabaka, this is what I'm talking about. You're talking about something that, like Shabaka, we're talking about you being on this show, like dropping a link so you could be on this show. You're talking about fucking Pan Africans. This is what I'm talking about. This is what they're talking about. And I tried to defend you. It's like, yo, yeah, the nigga goes off topics, but like sooner or later he'll answer the question. They was like, no, it's a waste of time. You just proved their point, Shabaka. This is why I stopped defending people, Shabaka. And this is why I say, yo, Shabaka, I would never defend people. I don't defend people. And I defended you and you proved me wrong. You proved me right. You proved me right. When you defend people, this is what happens. They fuck up and do what you told them that they don't do. This is the shit I'm talking about, Shabaka. Shabaka, man. Like, this is what I'm talking about, Shabaka. This is what I'm talking about. And it sucks, man, because at the end of the day, I'm defending you. I'm telling them, like, yo, Shabaka's good for the show. They're like, no, this motherfucker don't answer questions. He talks about questions that's in his fucking head, and I'm using my words of what they're saying, Shabaka. And it's like, yo, you can't attack the people who are helping build this show, Shabaka, because you're mad because they telling you they don't want you on this show. It's two against one. That I defended you, and at the end of the day, you proved them right. You proved them right. You just started talking about Pan Africanism. They started talking about you being on the show. Like, oh, this is crazy. This is why I told people I don't defend people. This is why I tell people all the time I'm not a fucking humanitarian. I'm not helping you. This is why I have that attitude, Shabaka. And you proved me right. Instead of attacking foundational Black Americans or my business partners, won't you attack? Won't you say, you know what? I'm gonna try to fix that. Yeah, you're right. Let me try to fix that. You know. So, like, if anything, like if you go on another show, you can do the same thing. You could be like, oh, yo, you know what? I can answer the questions, and you can have better constructive conversations. I can't have a constructive conversation with you, Shabaka. I already know that. I tried. But now people are seeing that like I can't have a constructive conversation with you because you're batshit crazy. You're batshit crazy. And like I told everybody, I woke up on Saturday morning having to deal with this shit. This is again, Shabak. I gotta put you on timeout because you're gonna drive me crazy right now. I have to put you in timeout, Shabaka. I'm sorry, I can't do it today. I really can't do it. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. I need you to. I think I have to put Shabaka in timeout today, man. Like he's arguing me about my show that my buddies was like, "Yo, don't have him on the show." Nigga talk about Pan Africans. They talk. I'm talking about this nigga being on the show. This nigga talk about being a Pan African revolutionist. Is that batshit crazy or what? This is why I tell people all this time. Black Snowbody King, I already know you're crazy because you're defending craziness. You know, in like I said, it's sad, man. Oh my god. Everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment in the live chat. But only way if you comment in the live chat, you gotta be a subscriber. So subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. You know, and if you want to donate to the system, you can super chat or Cash App. I'll put my Cash App down. So if y'all donate, definitely it helps this. It helps the company, man. It helps the company, and the thing, it's bad out here. It's bad out for a lot of these folks. Um, Give me a second, everybody. And also, I have a project coming out, Brother Morningstar, Sir Adam's Great Portrayal. Don't forget, send in them donations for the GoFundMe. We're trying to reach at least 7,000. You know, and like I said, it's because I want to pay people. Because if we get 7,000, I can double it. It'll be 14,000. So whatever we make, I'm gonna double it. Um, yeah, but let me talk for another like 2 more minutes, and we'll jump on to the show. I want to say this. Um, a lot of these Democrats, you could see that like they're trying to do any and everything not to pay Black Americans, but now it's coming to a point where they're gonna have to pay the piper. They're gonna have to pay for They gotta pay for their crimes. And I'm gonna say this: I think I think it was right for foundational Black Americans or Black Americans to attack the Democrats. Because don't forget, while we was watching that show on Thursday, it was the Democrats that basically started slavery. Did people switch sides and shit? Yes. That's why the Republicans is a little bit more conservative when they come to their racism. So you got the trailer park trash Republicans. So yeah, um, it is what it is. But we're gonna put on the first video. Let me see. All right, so the first video is Democrats do not like foundational Black Americans delineation. I think that delineation started everything. What I think united everything. I think the Montgomery Brawl thing. You hear me talk about that a lot because when you hear the Montgomery Brawl, we talk about Black unity. The only people who was actually kind of scared of that the Montgomery Brawl were immigrants. They thought it was going to cause a civil war. Um, it didn't, but give me a second. Yeah. So yeah, that's what they thought it was going to cause. But I knew it wasn't going to cause it, but because we should have been, I'm put it this way, if we were going to have a civil war, we should have been had a civil war in the 50s and 60s. All jokes aside. So yeah, we're going to watch this first video and we're going to see how the Democrats thought about it.
I want to thank everyone. What's going on YouTube? How you doing? How you doing? First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for the love and support. Thank y'all for subscribing to my channel. Thank y'all for commenting, liking, and just sharing my video and with your mom. And you need please hit that like and subscribe button for your boy. Please hit that like or look into.
Hold on 1 second. Oh, I put the wrong video, everybody. I apologize.
Day. We're spending our time debating a bill that mentions slavery 25 times, but nothing I'm about to say is meant to minimize the horror and brutality of slavery and Jim Crow. Racism is a bloody stain on this country's history, and I consider our failure to pay reparations directly to freed slaves after the Civil War to be one of the greatest injustices ever perpetrated by the U.S. government. But I worry that our desire to fix the past compromises our ability to fix the present. Think about what we're doing today. We're spending our time debating a bill that mentions slavery 25 times, but incarceration only once, in an era with no black slaves, but nearly 1 million black prisoners. A bill that doesn't mention homicide once, at a time when the Center for Disease Control reports homicide as the #1 cause of death for young black men. I'm not saying that acknowledging history doesn't matter. It does. I'm saying there's a difference between acknowledging history and allowing history to distract us from the problems we face today. In 2008, the House of Representatives formally apologized for slavery and Jim Crow. In 2009, the Senate did the same. Black people don't need another apology. We need safer neighborhoods and better schools. We need a less punitive criminal justice system. We need affordable health care. And none of these things can be achieved through reparations for slavery. Nearly everyone close to me told me not to testify today. They told me that even though I've only ever voted for Democrats, I'd be perceived as a Republican and therefore hated by half the country. Others told me that by distancing myself from Republicans, I would end up angering the other half of the country. And the sad truth.
And I'm gonna say this guy right here, he's a Puerto Rican. He's a Puerto Rican. This is why I have problems with people like this. He's a Democrat, and I'm gonna say why he's a Democrat, because at the end of the day, these were Democrat talking points, and this isn't the only Afro Latino that has done stuff like this. There are people like this that do sell out people. They've been selling out. I'm gonna be personally honest. A lot of these Democrats that are Afro Latinos have been selling us out for years. You know, this ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing. Oh my God, this is just happening. No, this been happening for the illest minute. You know, people like him, people like what's her name? Candace Owens. But one thing about them that we don't do, they always come back, you know, to our communities asking for help. They're always asking for help. And I always tell people, stop helping these people. Give them to the wolves. Give them to the wolves, because at the end of the day, that these people don't have nothing to do with us. These people don't have nothing to do with us. All they want to do is benefit off of our struggles, benefit off of our achievements. You know? They have been doing that shit for years. This is why there's a foundational Black American. This is why people are pushing back on flat blackness. This is why a lot of people are pushing back on flat blackness. And you know, I know everybody gets mad at TarIq Nasheed for saying shit, but at the end of the day, TarIq Nasheed is right. Why the fuck are you talking about Black Americans and you're not a Black American? You come from some immigrant background. And instead of, and I'm gonna be personally honest with a lot of y'all people want to gaslight, y'all want to trauma bond and all that other shit. Black Americans is not trying to trauma bond with y'all. They're not trying to trauma bond with y'all. They're trying to tell you, like, yo, stay out of our fucking business. If you don't want to help, shut the fuck up and get out the way. Let us do our thing. Why is there a problem with us doing our thing solo? We don't need no fucking permission slip for you to do what we need to do. Just mind your fucking business then. This is what is coming. This is what y'all did to unite all of this. You know, and this is why I told Black people, y'all got to stop being so forgiving. They're taking advantage of that. They think they could talk shit and come back, oh, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, sister. No, get the fuck out of here. Go back to that bullshit you want. This is why when that ICE shit happened, niggas didn't give a fuck. Niggas is tired of that brother and sister shit. That's why I told y'all in the beginning when y'all met me, stop calling me brother. I'm not your brother. We don't come from the same background. We don't come from the same lineage. Stop calling me brother. I'm going to play this, but I'll be right back, everybody.
Is that they were both right. That's how suspicious we've become of one another.
All right, we're going to play the next one. Might do this one later. Hold on.
And today we're going to talk about.
But yeah, that was a quick one. That was only 2 minutes, but
has already
I'll be right
happened.
back, everyone.
It's already up and it's stuck, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. So you might as well pay respect to it. Now what you see, family, now what you see is if y'all were tuning in last night, now it's getting, people are trying to cosplay full on now. So we don't want folks to do that. Just like the woman last night called up, can I be FBA? And she's Jamaican. Like, no, ma'am. No. You're from a different lineage, ma'am. We see a lot of that. Rohan, all that. I want to be FBA. No. You're from a different lineage. That's okay. There's us saying we're foundational Black American. We're not saying that to denigrate you. They feel like they're being denigrated when they can't latch on to it. No. No. And we can't have all these non-FBAs latching on to our lineage because it's too many covert bad actors out there.
As we just seen with Colin Hughes, a mixer, a guy who's Puerto Rican, who leans more to his Puerto Rican roots than his Black American roots. If he's Black American. And that's the thing. To me personally, I'm gonna say this. I think a lot of you non-Black Americans need to fix that. When Black Americans is talking, let them talk. Let them do their own thing. So yeah, it's y'all got to do your own thing, man. Like, this is the question: why can't Black Americans do their own thing without anybody talking? When niggas want to have all these parades and all these scholarships, Caribbean scholarships, and all this other stuff, we can't sign up for it because I have no Caribbean background. But when it comes to Black Americans, these people have Caribbean and Haitian backgrounds. Even with the Juneteenth thing, I found out in Boston, the little girl who won the Juneteenth award was Caribbean. Juneteenth's supposed to be for Black Americans. And like I'm gonna be personally, I'm starting to have problems with that now. And I think TarIq Nasheed is right to have an issue with that. And that's me.
Dan, because they come around us and what do they start doing? Just like old girl yesterday. What did she do? We ain't gonna get reparations. Why we keep talking about reparations and we know we ain't gonna get it? We ain't gonna get nothing. We need to stop. We need to let. No. That's why we have to delineate right there. Let me tell y'all something, family. I want y'all to go back and listen to the broadcast from last night. I'm posting it up on my channel tomorrow. That's a real time example on why delineation is so very important. Dude, last night a Jamaican lady called in, and boy, she was speaking a lot of French. We built Black Wall Street, and we did this. We in the civil rights. We had to. Hey, we got to pump your brakes, beloved.
Shabaka, again, this is why I told you they don't want you on. That's why they told me stop dropping the link. This is why they telling me don't drop the link. We're having a conversation about reparations and the Democrats. This is about reparations and how people, and let me tell you something. The reason why we're listening into this one, because you know what? The Democrats made it okay to try to trauma bond with Black Americans. The Democrats made it okay. And this is what it turned into. Everybody wanted to be Black after they said that they didn't want to be Black. This is why they told me stop dropping the link every time I see you. They said drop it once every 2 weeks. And I'm starting to believe I think I should have did it once every month. I'm being personally honest, Shabaka. I'm actually starting to believe that. I'm actually starting to believe fucking Bobby and Jay. They told me to stop dropping the link for you. Because every time we do this TarIq Nasheed, every time we talk about TarIq Nasheed or reparation or foundational Black American, it gets personal. We can't really have a conversation. And I told you, let's have a conversation. You already told us Friday that The reason why you're doing this because you're mad because black Americans are achieving. You're not happy for black Americans when they do shit on their own. Shabaka, Shabaka, you're not listening. You know what? I'm gonna stop talking to you, Shabaka.
There's no we now, no disrespect. But if the police pull me over, they no. We don't do all that. No. Let's stop the French. No. Ma'am, you are from a different lineage. Oh, y'all think y'all better than us. It gets into all of that stuff.
Shabaka,
Ma'am, we
Shabaka,
have a
just
different
my
lineage.
point.
That's okay. We're from a different lineage. All that police bullshit. Oh, the police Putin, stop it. Because our lineage isn't contingent upon us getting pulled over by the damn police. We're still going to be foundational black American. But I want y'all to understand why the tethers come around us trying to downplay reparations, talking about we
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't try to get it. Y'all notice that? And they've always done that. Every time we talk about
And again, I'm gonna say this: I think the Democrats made it okay, try to police our culture. The Democrats made it okay to police our culture, and now it's so bad now where Democrats, are mad and are entitled. They feel like they're entitled to tell us what to do now instead of help, but tell us what to do. This is why I'm gonna be personally honest. This is why the Democrats are quiet when that little 14-year-old boy got killed. This is why the Democrats didn't try to pass no law, no black hate law. This is why. If they're not going to give us reparation, they didn't even try to give us a policy. They didn't even try to give us a law. And before that little girl, before that woman said that, yo, when they killed her kid, they said, yo, when they killed my kid, they need to be trying to pass a black anti-hate law. They didn't want to. They're gonna say, "Oh yeah, they passed the Emmett Till law." Fuck that Emmett Till law because at the end of the day, anybody could benefit off of that. They've been trying to pass that law since the fucking 60s. Then when it was passed, we can't even use it. We can't even use it. But you argue with a certain race, they'll call that an anti-hate law. This is the Democrats. So yeah, Shabaka's gonna go off, and Fresh always Shabaka's gonna go off because like Shabaka, he's like the Democrats. He feels like he's entitled to tell me what to do. He feels entitled. This is why, and the thing about it, I didn't understand. And this is Shabaka. I defend you. I defend you as best as I could because I thought you know what you are a value, but technically watching now, just seeing how you're doing, you're not a value to anything. If you never come back on this show's still gonna blossom because at the end of the day, you or Black Snowbody King don't bring value to this show. Like I understand if you agree with me and disagree with me with certain things, but you you full off go and defend the Democrats that are hurting the black community. You go off and undermine black Americans when we're getting hurt by a lot of these black immigrants. You go off on me, act like black Americans are the problem. This is why delineation was so important. This is why it was so great asking black people, asking other black people, where are you from? What is your, where's your family from? What is your background? You know, it's coming to this type of point. It's bad out here for a lot of these people, because at the end of the day, we're figuring out who these people are. We're figuring out where these people are from, and I think, like I said, I think next year it's gonna stop. People are gonna be like, "Yo, you can't talk to about our race, because at the end of, y'all can't talk about our ethnicity or our community. You're not even from the community. You're a fucking guest. Shabaka, you're a guest. I'm gonna be personally honest. You're a guest. A lot of y'all foreigners are a guest. You are a guest to hip hop like Eminem is a guest of hip hop. I have to say that.
Reparations, all of a sudden somebody would come along talking about, man, we need to chill. You think these white people is gonna give us something? Man, these people have done us wrong for so long. You think they is gonna give us reparation? We need to stop. We should have been saying, hey man, where are you from?
Mm-hmm.
We should have been saying that a long time ago, because when we start saying, hey man, where are you from? We found out that these people were tethers.
Mm.
See, when they tether onto a lineage, the goal is to keep the definition of black in America completely monolithic. All right? See, if we as foundational black Americans, when we secure lineage-based reparations, family, that forces the government and institutions to legally distinguish foundational black Americans from voluntary immigrants. So that's why they discourage reparations talk, because they know, family, formalized FBA designation that threatens their ability to slide in under the umbrella and siphon off of affirmative action, diversity programs, civil rights resources that were specifically created for foundational black Americans and our historic marginalization. That's why they're always in our mix talking about what we ain't gonna get and we need to stop. You understand that, family?
Mm.
That's why we have to delineate. See, there's also a fear of foundational black American economic dominance too. Right now, these people understand the social hierarchy that the dominant society encourages, which places the immigrants in a favored minority model position over us. They know if we receive as foundational black Americans a massive injection of capital and land through reparations, we are going to become immediately an undisputed economic power. You understand? They know that. So a lot of these tethers are motivated by fear. They don't want to see us elevated to a position where we have all of that financial leverage and control in these institutions like that. So in all of that, we need to stop begging. Oh, let's stop begging. Man, that's a projection and a smokescreen. Look, we're pursuing a legal historic claim against the U.S. government for unpaid labor and constitutional violations. That's not begging. We're owed the debt. We want what's owed. We ain't fleeing. We ain't giving up and just throwing up the towel and fleeing. All that begging shit, when they start that begging talk, that's to shame us into silence, because they had to beg for a green card to get the hell out of their damn homeland. They had to beg for a visa, grant, immigration policies, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's true, man. This is why I always tell people all the time, yo, we gotta watch out for a lot of these people now. When people start to say stuff and say, oh, yo, what we have to do and what we not gonna do, that's when we got to stop and say, hold up. I can't be listening to you if your homeland isn't better than my homeland, and you had to run over here to my homeland. That's like your country's in war right now, and you run to like an island and say like, yo, why there ain't no cement grounds in your country? Why y'all motherfuckers eating coconuts and peaches and mangoes? And in your country they ain't eating nothing. That's a problem. We can't keep on listening to people who's running from their countries. And I understand now. I understand why a lot of these black Americans question a lot of y'all immigrants like, yo, you use your and that's why I always tell them, I was like, yo, a lot of y'all use y'all country as a vacation. That's why I would never go to your country. You know?
So they project that onto us. Yeah. And also, these people want to maintain academic and political gatekeeping. See, a lot of these people from these backgrounds, they've been positioned by the dominant society to act as safe leaders, intellectuals, and gatekeepers of Black America in academia and politics. That's why they keep elevating these people into political positions, and then they get in these positions and get to scamming. Yeah, just like them Haitian politicians. That one Haitian woman down there in
Florida, yep.
Florida, when she was running for office, boy, she was Haitian, 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 Haitian.
First Haitian this, first Haitian
Oh,
that.
shout out to Haiti. Oh, I got to help my fellow Haitian immigrants. I'm the first Haitian in this position.
I remember
Oh, she was
that.
screaming Haiti. And then when she got caught finessing all that damn money, all of a sudden, oh, look how they doing the black community.
Go ahead.
Ooh, you see how they doing us? We got to do something, black community. Or that she starts speaking French. Man, you see what they doing to us, and we as the black community got to stand up. No, 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 no. Sac passe, ma boule. You, no, 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 no. Ooh, no, ma'am, you're Haitian. All that scamming you were doing is on Haiti. We weren't benefiting from your scam, so
I'm gonna say this. One girl I support. One girl I support who's Haitian is Jessie Wu. Shout out to Jessie Wu or Jess Wu. WOO or Whoa. Sorry, Jessie Woe or Jess Woe. Because she tells the truth about her own community and stuff, even though what type of backlash she's gonna get. I feel like, at least if you tell the truth about it, of what's going on in that country, you can understand why, why she's pushing back on it, because it's not right. It's not right what they're doing. Only time you want to be black when it's benefits you. And like all this other shit about, oh yeah, niggas used to make fun of Haitian people and when they were younger. Like in Miami, it was the Jamaicans. It was the Jamaicans that you was fighting. Black Americans is too forgiving. This is where I don't get all this stuff from. Black Americans will invite you into their community. They'll invite you into their parties, their cookouts, their functions. But black Americans are this worst type of entity since the devil. And this is how y'all making it sound, because at the end of the day, black Americans always defended Haitians. Did we joke around with them? Yes, we joked around with them, but we didn't do no fucking malice to them. That's not even in our forte of doing shit like that. We probably joked around with you, but we didn't come on. And, and it's and it's fucked up when they do that. It was fucked up when they did do that, because again, a lot of black Americans don't be beating up on niggas because they're from some other country. That's some colorism shit. That's some colorism shit. We don't do shit like that. I'm just being personally honest of what's going on. We probably put it this way: if there's gonna be problem or drama, we would stay away from you. We would stay away from you. We wouldn't beat you up every day. Like, come on, every what? Friday, what they say, Haitian Friday or some stupid shit, when they was like, oh yeah, they were beating us up in Miami. No, we don't do shit like that. And it's fuck. And I'm gonna say to y'all Haitian, that's fucked up that y'all try to put that shit on black Americans. This is why now a lot of black Americans is getting pushbacks and talking about the fucked up shit in your country now. Because we heard what y'all said about black Americans being in this country. Talk about we're lazy and all this other shit. We don't do anything. We're baby mamas and drug dealers. And like we don't see, like we don't know y'all bringing cocaine from your country over to Miami. You and the Cubans. So like, what the fuck was going on? But you know what? The Democrats enabled you to do all of that shit, and our elders made it all right for us not to fight. They kept on using Jesus Christ. They kept on using Martin Luther King, saying like, yo, turn the other cheek. We shall overcome. Now black Americans are sick and tired of that shit and saying like, yo, I'm not doing that. We shall overcome that kumbaya John Lewis bullshit. I'm not taking no morally high road. This is why there is a problem now. Because nobody defended black Americans say, yo, that's wrong. We did not say that. We did not do that. We just made them feel like they were right because they came from a fucked up country. Like technically, it's like you was an ugly motherfucker and a pretty bitch give you some sympathy pussy. This is what them Democrats did. They gave y'all some sympathy pussy. That's what's happening. This is what's happening, and this is what's going on. They made it all right for y'all to disrespect us. Now y'all getting a pushback. Y'all like, whoa, where's this energy coming from? I thought we was brothers. No, a brother don't talk shit about me with white people right there. And I'm talking about white supremacists. A brother don't try to downgrade our achievements or our struggles. That's what y'all did. And I'm talking about y'all people in Miami. And shout out for y'all, and shout out to the writers who does defend black Americans. But there's not a lot of y'all. And I proved that Friday with Shabaka. Whenever I'm gonna say this, whenever somebody want to help a black American that is from a different race, they always go to a black American organization. And the reason why, because they know that their people are not gonna help. And this is why I'm thinking it's a cultural thing. I'm really thinking it's a cultural thing.
Don't bring that shit to us. No, ma'am. Do not bring that to us, ma'am. Come on. We ain't playing that game at all. You see? But they know that they don't qualify for reparations. So they have this zero-sum mentality. They believe if the U.S. government allocates trillions of dollars in tangibles to foundational black Americans, there's going to be fewer resources, fewer grants, fewer opportunities for them. And they understand their buffer position. They understand that the white T supremacist elevates them in certain positions to stop us from going for the gusto and getting what we're supposed to get. These people understand what their position is. That's why they keep throwing us a Kamala and an Obama and a Wes Moore. They know that these people are going to try to suppress any type of real movement for tangible resources for our lineage. This is why they start getting all of them FBA politicians out the paint. The Marion Barrys and the Harold Washingtons and the Coleman Youngs and the Maynard Jacksons and people like that. You understand? The people who were standing on lineage business looking out for the community. They're like, oh, no, we gotta get some foreigners who's not going to have a camaraderie with the black community like that. They're going to do our bidding. Because they know FBA politicians, you're going to, for the most part, many of them, and you know we got the sellout class, but many of them will stump for the community. If you come from the lineage, because you have relatives, you have grandkids or uncles or nieces and nephews. What was our guy up in Flint, Michigan? Why am I having a brain fart? Y'all know my brother who was giving them hell up in Flint. What was our brother's name up in Flint? Boy, he was from there. He was an FBA from that community. Eric Mays. Yep, the legendary Eric Mays. Eric Mays would give them people the blues up there. Eric Mays was hell on them because he didn't like what they were doing with the water. He didn't like what they were doing with the resources. He would give them hell. Eric Mays, that's a legend. They don't like them Eric Mays types who goes up there and stands on business for the people. Yeah? They don't like that. So Oh, they hated him. I love TikTok Shop. So yeah, they like to put a bunch of tethers in these positions now. He was funny. He would go off on them people. Eric Mays was hilarious.
Facts.
Yes, he was a
He
rider.
has done a lot for Black
All
Americans in the
right.
community.
Let me see. Who is this? Felicia. Let me get a bunch of y'all in here. There's a lot of ladies in here. What's up, ladies? What y'all about? A lot of ladies in here watching. I see y'all ladies. I see y'all. All y'all ladies up in here. Let's get. What's your name? Dani? I can't see shit. What's her name? With the D. Start with the D. All right. Her name starts with the D. What's up, ma'am?
Dontania.
Duntania. How are you,
Yeah,
Duntania?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am good. You want to hop on camera this time?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay. That wig is the wig ain't wigging the way it needs to. What's that
It
sound?
ain't wigging, huh?
What's that sound in the back, dear? What is that?
What song you hear?
I'm hearing like some kind of feedback.
I don't know.
Now, what city you in, dear?
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. So what's on your mind?
Um, Nothing really. I talked to you. This is like my third time talking to you. Remember, I talked to you the first time, and I told you I had a Haitian baby father. You talking about my baby head might look funny.
No, I asked. I asked if his little hairline is cool.
And I told you my aunt right before she passed, she said, "Oh, you could tell I was visiting her." Now, mind you, my aunt was in hospice at this time. She said, "Oh, you could tell your baby African. Look at her head." I
Oh
said, "Aunt
shit.
Merlin, my baby ain't African. She Haitian." She said, "Same thing." I said, "Lord
Yeah.
have mercy. You on your deathbed talk about my baby, Lord." But I was
Yeah.
born in LA. I was born in LA, but I haven't been there since I was a kid. But I was
Okay.
raised in upstate New York.
Okay.
And I was telling my cousin, God bless her, she was out there. I said, yeah. I said it, but I wouldn't have been in no gang like you. I would have been like a valley girl, like the girl you just had up here. She said,
Yeah.
girl, your mama and daddy lived in the jungle. You wouldn't have been no valley girl.
Yeah. Your ass would have been a damn black
I
peace
don't know no
sign.
jungle. Yeah. So, but yeah, I was born in LA, raised in upstate New York, Rochester, New York, and Atlanta's always been a second home. But yeah,
There.
y'all leave them foreign men alone. I know sometimes you get sick of these Negroes in the States, but leave them alone, y'all. Leave them alone.
Mm.
Oh Lord. All right, there. Thank you so much for that feedback. That feedback is a beast, boy. Yeah, every time I speak, there's that weird feedback. I don't know what that is.
Mm.
Oh man. All right, we get one more? I ain't gonna be on here too long. What time is it? I ain't gonna be on here too long. Get hot.
Yeah. I'm originally from Chicago. Shout
Okay.
out to 71st Street, Emmett Till Road,
Oh yeah.
83rd Crandon,
Mm.
60617. But
Mm.
um, but yeah, I live in Nashville right now. I've actually been here since
Oh.
1992.
He's gonna
Oh
talk
wow.
about Chuck the
Don't miss the
Builder.
was it Maiden Hood?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah. So
exit 87.
be right up at. I'll be kicking it at Mr. Childs up in Beverly Hills. But
Bill,
we're not their constituency.
like and tapped in with
Let me see who we got. All right.
Hold on.
Can we get one more? Ladies and gentlemen, can we get one
That voice
more?
sounded familiar, everybody.
Let me see.
Listen.
Y'all raise those hands. I know. What does Tether do? What's Tether do in here?
Oh.
hey, what's going on, TarIq?
What's going on, Tether? You still lurking around in these streets? What's going
Uh
on?
yeah, I wanted to
Hey,
I want to
anybody?
say first, rest in peace, Cyrus, the good little brother that lost his life.
Right, right.
Yeah, I wanted to know, since the Democrats not in office, are you like tapped in with the Republicans?
No, I don't do nothing with the Republicans.
Yeah, wouldn't you think that's a great idea, because I remember you said Trump is not doing nothing to hurt FBA, right? So I
Right.
was wondering, you know, uh, wouldn't it make sense for them to write a anti-FBA bill or, push for reparations. If Trump is really not harming FBA like you said,
Right.
wouldn't it make sense since they got the House, the Senate, and Trump is in office, he's a Republican. Wouldn't that make more sense for you? Instead of, bashing Democrats all day, you could just, go to the Republicans and say, hey, since y'all really rock with FBA, we're not Democratic shills, as you say. Write us a
But why
bill,
would
write
why
us
would they
an
do that? We didn't.
anti-FBA
But
bill.
we're not their constituency. We didn't get them, and we didn't vote for them. They have a whole bunch of white supremacists and Hispanics who put them in office. We didn't vote for them, so their thing is, why would we do something for you? You didn't even vote for us, which we didn't. But we voted majority for the damn Democrats, and they sitting there.
So one thing that's Kwame, everybody. That's Kwame. And I'm gonna say this: Kwame is right, but the direction that he's going is wrong. Kwame is right. That I think, put it this way, I do think that they might, and sooner or later they're gonna end up putting an anti-black law, anti-black hate law. And it's because of Chug the Builder, shit like Chug the Builder, the little Asian dude. A lot of that shit's gonna be getting pushed sooner or later. But I don't think I think where Kwame's going, he's trying to antagonize, where he's trying to say, "Oh yeah, Black Americans should go to the Democrat, um, and see what the Democrats ain't gonna do shit for us." You know, and the reason why, as I always tell people all the time, I think the Republicans, and this is just me, I think the Republicans, they got too many white supremacist ideology. Being conservative doesn't mean that it's a white nationalist party. Being conservative is a lifestyle, if anything. You know, ethic, morals, lifestyle. That's how I think of conservitude. Because a motherfucker from Chinese can be a conservative. A motherfucker from a third world country can be conservative. So it's a lifestyle. Or no preference. It's a lifestyle. The way how you live your life. So adding, dealing with the white supremacists is not going to work. And this is why I tell people all the time, a lot of these immigrants don't know about, they think they know politics, but they really don't know politics. And Kwame just proved that. And Shabaka, yeah, long live Kwame, the one who told you was getting spit on and chased by dogs. Yeah, that Kwame. Remember that when he said, "Oh yeah, niggas was spitting on you, getting chasing you, you was getting chased by dogs, getting punched in the face." Remember when Kwame said that shit to you, and remember what you said? Oh yeah, he's kind of right. Remember you said that? Yeah, that Kwame.
Here telling us what they can't do for us. You
Yeah,
see,
but
that's the
but but
problem.
this is a gateway to, build a bridge with the Republicans. Say, hey, you know what? We've been voting Democrat for 60 years.
Absolutely
We
not.
haven't gotten nothing out the deal. Let's extend the olive branch.
Kwame's crazy.
You could write us an anti-FBA bill. Get us reparations. We're both anti-immigrant, so we could have, we could benefit off each other. Wouldn't that make more sense than bashing the Democrats all day? Going to the Republicans and say, hey, give us an anti-FBA
No.
bill.
It's not that we bash y'all all day.
I'm not a
Y'all
Democrat.
y'all sit up here and try to shame us all the damn time, and y'all send fat ass.
Yo, Kwame knows he's a Democrat. Kwame got the Democrat talking points, and Tariq Nasheed caught him for doing that shit. What?
Than bashing the Democrats all day, going to the Republicans and say, hey, give us an anti-FBA
No.
bill.
It's not that we bash y'all all day.
I'm not a Democrat.
Y'all sit up here and try to shame us all the damn time, and y'all send fat ass Roland and all these people to curse at us if we don't support y'all stupid asses. That's the problem. The Republicans ain't doing that. The Republicans ain't trying to shame us and telling us we're Russian bots and all of this, and we're violating the civil rights movement if we don't sit there and support these idiots. The Democrats are doing this. Y'all send these tethers out here to yell and curse at us all the time. They send a bunch of sassy punks to sit up here and curse us out nonstop for not supporting them. So if y'all got all this heat and vitriol, damn it, where are the tangibles, where are the crime bills, where are the reparations? Cough it up. The Democrats are the main ones yelling at us all the time.
Yeah, but a lot of black people support the Republic. You have the Turn Chicago Red. You have a lot of black groups that are Republican.
But
Senate.
most black
you can
voters,
work with them.
most black voters vote Democrat. So that's why the heat is on the damn Democrats. And we've been supporting the Democrats for 70 years exclusively. And they shouldn't be telling us what the hell they're not going to do. This is why they're losing so bad. And that's why
but you got a lot of people who follow you. They're not Democratic shells. A lot of people who identify themselves as foundational Black Americans, they're not Democratic shells, right? So they support
foundational, that doesn't take away from your damn lineage. Yeah, people, you talking some old 2019 shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, our lineage is our lineage. 49 million people is 49 million people. It ain't got nothing to do with following me at all. You talking non sequitur bullshit. That's why the Democrats are losing right now, because y'all sending these folks out here with these weak talking points, and that shit ain't working for you. Y'all got to start stepping it up and start winning. So somebody's gonna come through, because we too much of a large voting block. So we have strategically, many of us have sat that vote out. And now people are going to come to the table like they got some sense. This shit that you
Shabaka, I said that he was right. I said that what he's saying is right, but his approach is wrong. The approach is wrong. What he's trying to do, the direction, no, not even approach. The direction that he's trying to send this conversation is wrong. It's like, oh, yo, somebody gets robbed, and you're asking what I'm gonna do since that person got robbed that was black. You should go try to get his stuff back. That's like saying some shit like that. Somebody get robbed and say, oh, you seen that guy get robbed? What are you gonna do? How you gonna go get his stuff back? Nigga, it's none of my business. That's what type of shit that you're on, Shabaka. And this is why I have a problem. And it's a very concerning thing about you, Shabaka, because you and Kwame, y'all defend the Democrats a lot. Y'all grift, and y'all defend Democrats to the fullest. Because I'm gonna say this: when I was saying something good about the Democrats and what they have done, you were telling me no, that's wrong. Now, when I don't defend the Democrats because they're doing wrong, you're telling me that, yo, what am I, a Republican? I'm Donald Trump because what the Democrats were doing was wrong. And I just called them out on it, Like I always tell people all the time, I don't have no party I'm loyal to. Come on, let's not. I'm only loyal to Black Americans. That's it.
doing all of that follow me shit, that's played out, and it's not working for the Democrats or nobody. That means y'all got to step that thing up. Y'all got to break bread with the tangibles. You
Let me ask you another question.
Right. Did what I say make sense though, Reverend?
Yeah, it make perfect sense.
Right.
Make perfect sense. Black people been supporting Democrats for 60 years. They haven't really gotten nothing, so it's time for them to give tangibles. I wanted to ask you, since you got Ogun
Here we go.
trademarked. I was wondering, could I do FBA Jamaica shirt, or would you come for me legally? Since you got an African deity trademarked, things like that.
You can't even get to your bad faith. Come on, ask me another question. Stop asking me these corny bad faith ass troll.
No, I'm
ask me
being for
something
real, because I really want to make FBA.
That's goofy. That's lame. It's goofy sounding. It don't even make no sense. Ask me something for real. Come on now. Stop that type of shit. Ask me a real question. Ask me something real. Stop that goofy shit. Ask me something real. I won't even entertain that bullshit. Ask me something real. Like, you want some hair care tips for that damn peppercorn? You
Oh
need to use some
No,
leave-in
I
yeah.
conditioner.
do need Beijing.
Yeah, you need some leave-in conditioner. That's
Oh,
what you need with that damn
matter of fact,
peppercorn.
let me
That
ask
pepper.
you this.
No, no,
Let me
no. Hold
ask you
on.
this.
No, no. Let me ask you this. What bird's nest did you get that peppercorn? Your hair looked like a damn, like you lay ostrich eggs in your head. It looked like an ostrich nest, nigga. Peppercorn just all willy-nilly. Get the hell out of here asking me dumbass questions. That nigga head looked like a fool when his ass got on camera. Somebody find that picture of his ass. Cockeyed, peppercorn. But no wonder you don't want to get on camera.
Yeah, shout out to Kwame. Kwame's crazy. He did decent today. I'm not even gonna lie. I think he asked a decent question, but it's just the direction of where he be going with his questions. It just makes he loses value when he does that. But I think Kwame asked a great question. I will say that.
That head was all over the place,
Oh
man.
shit, that shit was funny.
Damn. He looked like a musty Don King by the head.
Mm.
Hell out of here. That shit looked like a ferret. The hell out of here, dude. This dude hairline was so damn janky. That's why he don't like getting on camera. He slipped up and tell. Y'all know the movie Ice Age? You know
Oh
before the movie they
shit.
always have that little weasel scrap. He looked just like that.
Yeah, I was
He
thinking
looked
the
like that little
same
weasel
thing.
in Ice Age, running around trying to get an acorn. But just imagine the weasel with peppercorn. It went from acorn to peppercorn. Oh, Lord. Yeah, Sid, right? It was Sid. No, it's not Sid. No,
Yeah.
it's not Sid. It's the other one.
Crime bill because, but
Go ahead. All right. Evil Tracy, what's up, brother? Hop on.
what up, Flex? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. How are you?
Good, man. I was trying to get on there last night.
Yeah, what's up, man? Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, I had a conversation with Chat GTP. Oh,
Yeah,
whatever. How you say? I'm stuttering right now, but
go ahead.
yeah. So you know, the situation with Chud the Builder. Um, the current crime bill that they passed
What's
for
going on,
Asians.
Dorsey?
Find you so I can block you myself. All right, hold on. All right, I'm blocking you.
Hey yo, hey Dorsey, your boy Shabaka's mad at me. Cause I had to tell him, I was like, yeah, man, he's mad at my business partners. My business partners told me stop dropping the link for Shabaka. Yeah, my business partners told me stop dropping the link for Shabaka. It's like, yo, it just doesn't make no sense. Like I get great clips with Shabaka, but it's coming to a point where Shabaka is just arguing just to be arguing, you know. So it's like, yo, stop dropping that link for him. Like if you're gonna drop the link, drop it once a week, or no, once every 2 weeks. I apologize. I understand, you know, why they saying that, but yeah. Let's go to this one. We're gonna watch half of this.
Based on who's in power. If Trump can be judged by what he does with his executive power, then Obama should be judged by what he didn't do with his executive power.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine.
Blessings, everybody. This is Damon K. Jones here, and welcome to another edition of the Publisher's Desk. And tonight, there's something visions 36 defendants. But according to Vice President J.D. Vance, that's not what the fun is. The vice president stated that Democrats can apply, Republicans can apply, independents can apply. He even suggested that individuals who oppose Donald Trump could apply if they believe that they have been harmed by government misconduct. According to the administration explanation, the fund is designed to compensate Americans who can demonstrate that they were improperly targeted, unfairly prosecuted, and harmed by government actions. Now, whether you support the fund or oppose the fund, that's not the point. The point of this show, brothers and sisters, and we're gonna make it clear that the moment America begun discussing compensation for government wrongdoings, suddenly reparations became a mainstream conversation again. Suddenly, politicians are talking about reparations. Suddenly, television personalities are talking about reparations. Suddenly, radio hosts are talking about reparations. Suddenly, black political elites are talking about reparations. And black America should ask a simple question. Why now? See, because slavery ain't happened yesterday. Jim Crow didn't happen yesterday. Redlining didn't happen yesterday. Housing discrimination didn't happen yesterday. The destruction of black wealth didn't happen yesterday. So why is reparations suddenly urgent now by these so-called educated elite black Negroes who wouldn't discuss it before today? See, we got to understand something. There were people who were carrying the torch of reparations for years before these few Negroes started talking about it. People like Dr. Amos Wilson, people like Dr. Claude Anderson, people like the Minister Louis Farrakhan, the same people that these elite Negroes talking now wouldn't be seen in the room in.
Shout out to Miss Ramirez.
Whether you agree with every position
What's going on, Robin?
that they held is not the point. The point is they were talking about
Shabaka, black Americans don't have nappy head. We have coil. Is some of our hair rough? Yes, but we have coil here. You know, there's a difference between like Africans people's hair where they perm their hair to this day and black Americans' hair where our hair is coil. You know, are there different types of coil? Yes, I do agree. But most black American, like my hair, when I grow my hair out, you're gonna see the difference. You're gonna see how my hair curls up and stuff. So yeah, it comes with it. And thanks with Miss Ramirez for the cash app. Salute, salute, salute. She says she wants to roast Shabak. Hold on. I'll tell you. For letting me roast Shabaka. Oh, thank you, Miss Ramirez. Salute. My hair is dreaded up. Sometimes it is natural. What's going on, Robin? Robin's funny. Did you get it? Yeah, thank you, Dorsey. Salute, salute. She wants me to send more. Tell her thanks. All I say, just donate. It doesn't have to be a lot, Save it for next time, Dorsey, Thank you. I appreciate the donation. Yeah, that's all I ask for. It doesn't have to be crazy, If you do, I do appreciate it, But again, it's like I was saying, like Shabaka's mad right now, Dorsey, if you don't notice. Shabaka's mad. And this is why. This is why, and I'm showing you. This is why a lot of these Democrats use these Afrocentric organizations or even immigrants to undermine Black Americans. So, and this is what's happening. And I'm looking at it. We're looking at it in a broader picture now. Where look at Shabaka. Shabaka is so Afrocentric that it's ridiculous. He can't come back from it. And the word nappy is more of a derogatory term for Black Americans' hair. Our hair is coil.
economic repair long before it was fashionable. They were talking about wealth creation. They were talking about ownership. They were talking about institutional power. They were talking about economic sovereignty for Black people. And they were talking about reparations for decades. There was no TV specials. There were no viral clips. There were no political.
Everybody, don't forget to do the poll. Was a Rochelin's team right for only having Shabaka on once every 2 weeks? That's the poll for today. So definitely hit the poll in on YouTube. The reason why we're doing that poll because my team they told me to like stop having Shabaka on. They said that I didn't say it, Shabaka, so don't get mad at me. They told me like have and I fought for you to have it at least once every week, and now I'm agreeing with. I think Shabaka, you should do it once every 2 weeks now. So that's twice a month. That's it. I think 1 week. I mean, one time a week is kind of stretching it now because it's just you're doing too much now. You're just doing too much, and I think you're abusing my channel because you're not adding anything onto this channel, Shabaka. Old dude who's going on. yo, but to the city. Shout out to Fresh as always. Fresh always. Yeah, you're abusing your privilege of this channel, Shabaka. And like I said, I let you say whatever you want onto this channel, and you don't appreciate it. Like when I ask a question, you won't answer the question. That's why they told me stop having you on this show. So I have to.
Incentives. Many of these same black political elites, radio hosts, television commentators, and gatekeepers who suddenly discovered reparations today either ignored these voices, dismissed these voices, or labeled them controversial. Today, many of the same people suddenly sound like lifelong reparation advocates. But they weren't. And Black America should notice that and put a check mark by the foolery and the gatekeepers.
We're having reparations given out to people that were unjustly treated by the government. Black people should be the first in line. Palm Springs was black people. Seneca Village which is.
So Dorsey, my team was telling me like don't have nobody on just yet. They said wait almost a month because they're gonna find a different system. They want me to find a different system of doing the panel. So it's not just you. It's just I have to do a different panel of how we should do this. And like I said, I think Shabaka fucked it up because Shabaka took advantage of it. Shabaka knows like I'm gonna have you on the show, but because I put it this way. One thing, as I always told you, Dorsey, is I don't like to defend people because I don't want people proving me wrong when I'm defending them, and they do the whole opposite of me telling them that the shit that they don't do. And Shabaka did it. I personally think Shabaka fucked it up. But yeah, let's go.
Is Central Park was black people. So it isn't what you did to us in slavery. It's what you took from us after we pulled ourselves for our bootstraps, and then you use the power of the government to take it away. You can't say pull yourself out your bootstrap. Hey, nigga, I'm taking your boots too. And I think if now you can give people that shit all over the Capitol money, you can get people that were shit on by the Capitol. I just think it's that if you're going to say,
and I'm gonna answer your question, Robin. It's not about melanin. It's about lineage. We're not suing you, Robin. We're suing the government because the government okayed it. This is, I think you're getting the concept of reparation wrong. The reparation is through the government. It's not through you, Robin. It's a debt that is owed that the government didn't pay. It's like put it this way, Robin. If you don't pay your taxes, they're gonna take your shit. But if the government doesn't pay your taxes, I'm just supposed to wait. No, at the end of the day, it's supposed to be like, one hand's supposed to wash the other when you did so much harm to the black community. And DL Hughley said, he said, like, even after slavery, when black Americans were, pulling themselves up by the bootstraps, what did the government do? They airstriked Oklahoma. They put other states, they put other cities underwater. They genocided and massacred other communities. So yeah, it's not about, like I said, it's not about melanin, it's about lineage. So yeah.
Years. President Barack Obama served 8 years in office. For 2 years, Democrats controlled the White House, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. Yet reparations never became a priority for the Obama administration. Obama never delivered a major national address advocating for reparations. He never established a White House Reparation Commission. Obama never issued an executive order directing federal agencies to develop a reparations framework. Obama repeatedly argued for broad economic programs instead of reparations. Think about that. The first black president in American history had 8 years. And 2 of those 8 years, the Democrats had sole control of the House, the Senate, and the White House. And yet, reparations never became a presidential priority.
Yeah.
And let's not forget Governor Wes Moore, who vetoed a reparations bill. He vetoed it just recently. Where was these Negroes arguing with Wes Moore? Nobody said anything against Wes Moore. Not D.L. Hughley, not Roland Martin. Nobody said anything. You had the first black governor of Maryland veto a reparations bill. And many of these same Negroes, these television hosts, these radio personalities, these political commentators.
Yeah, Dorsey, I still want to do that, but I need a better system. That's the only thing. So definitely, this is why I'm answering y'all questions on the live chat right now. So just like I said, just give me a few weeks. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna try to figure it out tonight if I can. If I can't, just like I said, just give me a few weeks and I'll get it fixed.
Who loudly discussed reparations today were remarkably silent. They didn't say anything in the 8 years of Obama presidency. Where were the nightly discussions? Where were the emergency town halls? Where were the pressure campaigns? Where were the outrage? Where was the demand? Huh? If reparations was a defining civil rights issue of our generation, why wasn't it treated that way when Obama was president? You didn't hear anything from the Urban League. You didn't hear anything from the NAACP. You didn't hear anything from the National Action Network. See, that's not a reparations question. That's not a Democratic question. That's a Black America question. H.R. 40 was introduced by John Conyers in 1989. Think about that. 37 years ago.
I thought it was that lady.
37 years. Congress after Congress, administration after administration, election after election, and yet Black America is still having the same damn conversation. Not because the evidence disappeared, not because history disappeared, not because the case disappeared, but because the political will of Black folks and Black elite that's tied to the Democratic Party never existed. For 37 years, Black America was told to wait.
Facts.
Wait for the right moment. Wait for the right election. Wait for the right coalition. Wait for the right study. Wait for the commission. Wait. And then when we pressured them, like the young brother at the National Action Network.
What are you talking about, Jules? I'm not getting that, Dorsey.
When he called out Al Sharpton and he said, no check, no vote.
Briefly, we have to get going in one moment. Step up, tell us your name, and briefly, what's on your mind?
Hey, yo, as I look around this room, if you're 35 years old or younger, raise your hand. 4 people. So here's the thing. Y'all in trouble. Yesterday you had Al Green up here talking about we need a Secretary of Reconciliation, and then that's going to include what he said was reparations, which, by the way, wasn't reparations. Reparations is more than a check, but the very first thing it is a check. And come this year during the midterms and in 2028, if you don't have our check, you won't get no vote. No check, no vote. Yeah, I know that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what's happening. All of y'all in here, with all due respect, you're beautiful, but you're old. You're not talking to the youth. You don't know how to talk to the youth. You're trying to tell us what to do. We're not having it no more.
I told you. What I've been telling people for like the past year and a half. I was like, yo, yeah, y'all. The Democrats Party is so entitled. They think they're so entitled to what Black Americans do and say and feel that, like, put it this way. I'm gonna even say this. I'm gonna go on the record and say that I personally think a lot of these Democrats is the real fucking problem. I think a lot of these Democrats are the fucking problem, and this is what it comes to now. We got to point fingers at the Democrats just like we point fingers at the Republicans. Y'all been doing Black Americans dirty for the last 250 years, 300 years, 400 years. Even longer than that. A lot of these racist folks were Democrats before they became Republican doing this racist shit. So that's something that we need to think about.
So if you want our vote, you got to come with our paper. We're not scared of Trump. We're not scared of anybody. Biden is a racist. Trump is a racist. Kamala is a racist. And if you...
And Al Sharpton had the nerve to say every politician he supported reparations.
Because you cannot get reparations without putting people in office that's going to pay them.
Like I said, reparations are super cool. Rob this evil government of their money. However, we are broke, so
you cannot get reparations unless you elect folks that's going to pay.
Robin, don't believe that. America's not broke. America's not broke. So it's. I will let you know that that's something that they told you that they are. They're not broke, Robin. America had money. America had money in COVID, and they've been telling Black Americans that they've been broke for that long. So they're not broke. They're not broke, Robin. So yeah, that's a lie. I don't think they're broke.
Pay it. Who you gonna pay yourself?
Then why the hell didn't Obama support Al Sharpton? Why in the hell Obama didn't give an executive order? Why H.R. 40 sat when Obama and the Democrats controlled the 3 branches of government? They didn't do anything for reparations. The young brother called it. The Democratic Party is racist. The Republican Party is racist. And moving forward, no check, no damn vote. And that's why these elite Negroes is out here talking reparations, because they scared now. They see what elected official does for his constituency, for his supporters. If you don't get anything out of what Trump is doing, brothers and sisters.
I'm gonna say this, Robin. I think Donald Trump exposed the Democrats when they say that they didn't have any money. Then the Democrats exposed themselves when they were letting immigrants over here by the millions through Mexico. Then they were giving them, was it $5,000 a month, and with welfare, and giving them stipends. So they're not broke, Robin. Don't believe that. And I'm just being personally honest with you. They're not broke. They just don't want to pay. They don't want to make policies. Because you got to understand, Robin, if Black Americans get their reparations, Black Americans is not an underclass anymore. Somebody's going to have to be an underclass, and it might be white Americans. So that's something to think about.
You see when a person vote, when the MAGA movement put him in office.
Me either, Dorsey.
He gives back. What do you get for your 90?
Yeah, that's why I said, Robert, you got to go back in history. We got to go back to last, 8 years, 8 to 10 years. First it was first it was Donald Trump. Yeah, is Donald Trump full of shit? Yes. Donald Trump is full of shit, but Donald Trump shows his hands. That's the only thing about Donald Trump. He shows his hand. He'll throw you under the bus. So yeah, that's something to look at. And what made him so great is the COVID. If COVID didn't hit America as hard as it did, I don't think we would have knew that that United States had this amount of money. Joe Biden, don't forget, he opened the borders and started giving them money. They have more money than most people who were legal citizens. So that's telling you something, Robin. So yeah. Yeah, every time. And I think it's, to me, I don't know if it's an emotional thing, but it might be just an instant thing. Like you just start talking and he'll just do that instantly. Like he'll just start telling everything.
Percent being in one party. What did you get for the last 60 years? You got bad schools from black politicians. You got police brutality in black cities. And they want to deflect from what they're not doing and point at the White House and say he's a racist. But guess what? He's doing.
What's going on, JG11? Salute. Long time no see, man.
Politicians doing for you. Oh, wait a minute. That's what they're doing. They're asking young black men.
I always show love to everybody. So if you're new to the show, I show love to everybody. If I haven't seen you in a long time, I'm like, oh, yo, how's it going? So if I do that to somebody, it's probably I haven't seen them in a while. So yeah, shout out to JG11. I did it to Robin when I haven't seen him in like 2 weeks. So
to give up their scholarships to the South. That's what they're doing. They're asking young black men to step up and destroy their careers because black adults and black elected officials and black civil rights organizations don't have the testicular fortitude to stand with black America. They too busy playing politics. Carter G. Woodson warned us. If you haven't got the book, get it. The Miseducation of the Negro. 100 years ago, Carter G. Woodson warned black America about something that sounds very familiar today. In the book, Miseducation of the Negro, Woodson warned us about an educated elite that becomes disconnected from the needs of its own people. He warned us about the leaders who learn how to function inside systems, but never learn how to transform them. He warned about educated black folks who become managers of status quo rather than building independent institutions. Woodson understood something many people still don't understand today. The greatest threat to our people is not simply who controls the institutions. The greatest threat of our people is who controls their thinking.
Yep.
And if we are honest, many black elites have spent more time managing expectations than producing outcomes. And this is why black communities throughout the nation, brothers and sisters, are catching hell because they did not do the job that they were supposed to do, and God is exposed.
That's why, I know a lot of these old school people be thinking I'm hard on them, but I tell them the reason why I say they failed Black America and the youth, because at the end of the day, they left the youth with no real business, no real plan. We can talk about the crack epidemic, but not everybody smoked crack. There was a lot of sane people in here in the 80s and 90s, but they didn't do the job. This is why Shabaka gets mad at me when I say, the Pan-Africans didn't do their job in the 80s and the 90s. They failed my era. So now when you see my era and they like support the youth, a lot of these pan-Africans or these Afrocentric people are mad about that. Because we're actually telling them the truth about their culture. We're not just giving them some weird fucking new culture that a lot of these Africans are using now. A lot of these African cultures are mixed and mingled, yes. And yes, it is because of the what you call it? The Berlin Conference, when the Europeans came over there and colonized Africa. Yes, that's true. But at the end of the day, it doesn't give you a pass to fuck up your African people in other countries. Black America, we're okay because we're starting to figure out who our culture is, what our youth is. 50 to 100 years later, a lot of those Africans who are in France, they're gonna have a new culture. They're gonna have a new lineage. They might be like us now. Just mark my words. Within 50 to 100 years, a lot of those Africans in France is going to have a new culture or a new ethnicity. Y'all can take it how y'all want to take it, but I'm telling you, a lot of these cultures is going to be changing within 50 to 100 years. Even Africa. Yeah. Like Black Snow Bunny King, I'm being personally honest. Like even Africa, a lot of African countries are getting new type of ethnicities or new different type of races, like Asians. Asian people are moving into East Africa. White people, they're in South Africa. Let me ask you a question. In South Africa, how long you think you can keep everybody away from each other? Sooner or later, the youth is going to be, they're going to be curious about Africans. And if you don't tell them the truth about Africans, they're gonna go figure it out just themselves. Africans is the same way. They're gonna be going fuck with them white Afrikaners. That's what happened in America. A lot of these white folks were curious about black people and started having black babies. Native Americans, they were curious about natives. This is what happens.
Exposing them for their hypocrisy. 2026 is the year of exposure. And I said it before and I'll say it again. God is trying to tell Black America something. And you got these frauds and these gatekeepers trying to keep us from understanding that our time is now to be independent of these parties and become a separate voting bloc. And whoever is addressing our interests, that's who we go to. There's no permanent friends in politics. There's no permanent enemies in politics. They're just permanent interests. The Democratic Party ain't the damn black party. Why are we still talking about reparations after 37 years? Why are our communities looking the way they do? Almost some of these black communities, Chicago and some black towns look like ghost towns. Businesses is just leaving. And black politicians don't have an answer for it. And Joy Reid and Angela Rye, Joy Reid had the nerve to make the argument that really caught my attention.
Decided to not only pardon the insurrectionists that he sent to the United States Capitol January 6, 2021, but also he has now said, I'm going to pardon you. I want you to set your path in order. And I also want to give you some money for doing it, Joy Reid. He said, don't even worry about the $10 billion that I believe the IRS owes me. Let me also ensure that they have money. They can apply to 5 commissioners, Joy, and get paid. But when we ask about HR 40 or reparations, even for a study, they don't want to touch that. What you got, sis?
Apparently, reparations are something that MAGA is in favor of. And now that we know, I think that it's really important for us to act on the information that we have received. Now that we know that a president can, without Congress, without going back to Congress, because who knew? There's a fund.
But the thing about it, foundational black Americans have been saying that for the last 4 years, though. I'm going to say this. This is the problem with a lot of Democrats. The shit that black Americans or foundational black Americans has been saying All we had to do was get the wording right. And I'm gonna say this: shout out to that guy in Oklahoma. I forgot the. I wish I knew the guy's name who was from L.A. He was right. We just have to get the wording right. We had to get the wording right. And at the end of the day, a lot of people have been giving him hell about it, and he's been right. He has been right. He's like, yo, we gotta get this wording in right. We can't just ask for anything and not have the wording right. You know, so shout out to him, man. I wish I knew that guy's name, man. I wanted to. Oh man, when I say, and I was just talking about him with Shabaka on the show, and Shabaka was trying to undermine him and stuff, and I'm like, yo, you know, is a racist too. Who, Angela Rye? Yeah, her fine ass probably is. What's going on, Seaside Pool? Salute, salute. Overall, yeah, I'm gonna say this. Seaside Pool. If they want this shit to end, or like at least have a fresh start, just pay reparations. You know, give the policies, fix shit up, and that's it. You should be fine. You know, it might not like. Put it this way: we will always talk about the nasty history of America. You can't fix that because it's already printed in the fucking stone. So all you got to do is you got to own it and take it as what it is.
That Congress has pre-appropriated, as you will know as a former congressional staffer, that sits there in case there are settlements that the government needs to make, so they don't have to keep going back to Congress every time.
And say that also, and say that like, yo, you know what? We're trying to fix it in America. We're trying to fix that nasty history that we had 200 to 300 years ago, even in the 60s and 70s, the nasty history we had from the 70s all the way down. We've been trying to fix it. That's all you can do. You put it this way: you can't fix it, but at the end of the day, you could try to you can figure out how you can solve this type of problem. Keep timing me out. Why? No one is gonna pay it, organize people, anything. Um, okay, Shabaka. This is why a lot of Black Americans push back on everything that you say, Shabaka. This is why Black Americans don't want to support Afrocentric movements. Because people like you, like Shabaka, let me ask you a question. How are you calling yourself a teacher and everything that you have done on my show and other shows? Um, you just disrespect Black American and their culture and their lineage. Like, why would anybody support you? There'll be a fool to support you, Shabaka. Like, all jokes aside, like you can't even sit there and have a conservative or a great conversation with a Black American. You have to go into not even insults, but you have to go into trying to disrespect us and call us African. And when we're telling you, like, yo, we're more than just African. Like, why are you always trying to undermine Black America? Like, if you don't, put it this way, Shabaka, if you don't like my show or you don't like my people, you don't have to be on here. You don't have to be on here. And I'm just letting you know. Yeah, I like Angela Rye. I think Angela Rye is fucking sexy, man. For her little smart ass. Only thing she needs is some bomb dick, and oh man, she'll be fine, man. You know, she just need to go to Pound Town, man. That's it. Angela Rye will be all right, man. She looked like she got some good coochie too. I'm not even gonna lie. Shout out to Angela Rye.
Donald Trump has now tasked his Justice Department to dip into that settlement fund to the tune of, and you gave me this information, $1,776, 1776, in order to give reparations to the insurrectionists. Well, now that we know, sis, the next time there's a Democratic president, I don't want to hear anything about them not being able to do reparations. I don't want to hear it anymore. Okay, so now that we understand the uses of power, we get to apply to that too. So the next time there's a Democratic president, we don't want to have a commission. We don't want to have Congress do a study. We don't want anyone to do a study. You are going to start issuing reparations to the descendants of African, formerly enslaved African people, to the Tulsa survivors' families, to the families of the survivors of every massacre that has taken place with the government of the United States either standing aside or participating. Because now we know that we can do reparations. So guess what, Papi and Mommy Chulo? The black people are going to be coming up to the table to get reparations. That's number one.
She argued that anti-white weaponization funds demonstrate that a president can compensate people without going back to Congress. She said, if this administration can do it, then future Democratic presidents to stop talking about it. Then why the hell didn't Obama do it? Right? Why didn't Obama do it? He was supposed to be a constitutional scholar. That's what they said he was. If presidents have more authority than what we're told, then why wasn't the argument being made when Obama had the White House? Joy? Where were your demands then on MSNBC? Where was the Griot demands? Where was Angela Rye when the first black president had power over the Oval Office? Isn't she a lawyer? She didn't know that neither. This is not an attack, but you can't put information out there about this president. You ain't even vote for him. What about the one you voted for? Where was Kamala Harris the 4 years? Why wasn't she talking about it? Oh, wait a minute. Y'all forgot what she said?
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
See, we're talking about consistency from you Negroes, because the standard shouldn't change based on who's in power. If Trump can be judged by what he does with his executive power, then Obama should be judged by what he didn't do with his executive power.
But the thing about it, I agree with him, but Obama's not in office no more. So that ain't going to do us no good. I get what you're saying, OG Jones. But, and I'm going to end right here. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to end. I think that's the only problem. It's just, it doesn't do us any good. All right, we're going to watch this last one and we're going to get busy. And we're going to end.
Please. Miss Pillow Talk, what's on your mind?
Hello.
Hey, Pillow Talk, how you doing, dear?
I'm good. So I did have a quick question because I was looking at a video earlier and the video was about, reparations and from the DNC, right? Like from the Democratic Party.
Okay.
But I'm wondering, why is it never for the Republican Party? They're in control right now. Like, why are we not trying to convince them versus the Democrats?
Well, the thing is, we, as foundational Black Americans, we've been the base of the Democrats for the last 70 years. We've been the ones putting the Democrats in power. We put them in all their seats. All of the legislation that the Democrats got through, we were instrumental in that. We've helped the Democrats get all the power they've accumulated in the last 70 years. All of these civil rights laws that were passed for all of these other groups came from our suffering and struggling. We've been supporting these people, and they've been sitting up here giving our resources to all these other groups. So we want them to prioritize getting the resources to us because we have sat here and elevated them. We've been the power base for the Democrats. So they owe us. We've been supporting them exclusively for 70 years. They're supposed to do something exclusively for us. It shouldn't be no, what about the Republicans? We haven't been voting Republican. We ain't done shit. Republicans ain't really rocking with us and we ain't rocking with them. The Democrats are supposed to do something for us as far as reparations. They do things for all these other groups. Why shouldn't they do it for us? That's the question to you, right?
Okay. I was just curious because I'm like, shouldn't we be putting pressure on them too? Let me go because these comments are mean.
No. And now, where are you from, dear?
I'm from Miami.
Where's your family from? What are they, Caribbean?
My dad is, my mom is American.
Where's your mom from?
Miami. My family is American. Like my mom's side, they all American.
Yeah,
Like
are
my
they?
grandma from Georgia,
Are
my grandpa
they?
from New Jersey,
Are they? Are they?
No.
Your dad Jamaican or Haitian?
Haitian, Dominican.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh.
that's why you talking that Republican. How come you only going to
No,
Republican?
I'm not. No. That's not
Yeah.
true.
She
I
was.
wasn't even raised with that side of my family. I was raised Black Americans. And I
Uh-huh.
do believe we deserve things. That's not what I'm saying. But I was just curious because I'm like,
She said Haitian Dominican. That's the same thing. Because I think Haitians are Dominican and Dominicans are Haitian. It's just a dark side and light side, if anything. You know.
why is it more leaning towards the Democrats? And I did think to myself, I'm like, okay, well, it's because Black people have been voting Democrat for this long. Even my
Uh-huh.
grandmother used to be like, oh, we vote Democrat because we can't afford to be Republicans. I
Yeah.
remember that, but I was just curious if maybe you had a different reasoning on why.
No,
So
the Democrats are the main ones trying to shame us into voting. They like, y'all better vote, y'all gotta vote. Okay, damn it, where's the reparations then? They're the ones who shame us all the time if we don't vote. So yeah, y'all break bread. Now, what you look like, Pillow Talk? Hop on camera. Everyone want to see what you look like.
I have a whole career. I know they do. That's so crazy. Talking I eat dirt cookies. What's going on? What is going on? You know, dirt cookies, man. What? Where do you even get that from?
Lord,
What they trying to say? Because I'm from the hood.
no.
That's a
What?
How
Haitian
come you don't
thing.
want? How come you want to go on camera? Look, is that you and your?
It's a Haitian it's like a Haitian pastry, but it's like really dirt. It's like they got this abnormal type of dirt in Haiti that they eat. I don't, that's what it's technically it is a dirt cookie. I don't know how they make it out of it, but it is a dirt cookie. Or they call it a mud cookie or some shit like that. I don't know if we have anything similar to anything like that in America, but yeah, they're eating dirt cookie. Can I get into similar? If you want? I don't. I get. Hold on, Dorsey. Let me finish this, and I'm gonna make a call real fast.
I have a whole career.
And
Man, oh man, I have a real career. I don't want people like coming at my career. I seen where like social media could be cruel to people with like licenses and stuff. I can't even play like that. I
I'm
work
gonna
too
ask
hard.
Wiz. Wiz
oh
is
yeah, you're
always
not doing nothing
available.
illegal, but you can't show
I
yourself.
know. It's just I like being incognito, but I do enjoy your show. Thank
Okay,
you
all
for
right,
letting me
all
know.
right. All right. Are those your edges, or is that AI? You AI some edges?
Nah, I have edges.
Oh, okay, there you go. I don't think she has no edges, guys. Thank you, dear. I think her edges are back in Haiti. I think her edges are all the way in Haiti right now. That's why she didn't want to get on. She had to Photoshop some braids. All right, man. Let me see. Yeah, I knew something was off. I knew something was a little bit off when she was talking. Oh, that's an interesting question. Hold on. Where are you from? Let me see. All right. Can we get one more in here, ladies and gentlemen? Can we get one more? Ladies and gentlemen, one more? We can do one more, right? Can we do one more? Let's get real estate cash in the building. Real estate cash. Real estate cash. Somebody said two more.
What up, TarIq?
What's up, real estate cash? How are you, bro?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for bringing me up.
Yes, sir.
I had tapped in the other night because I told you I had a few questions and I was going to give you some information, but I didn't get to drop the info I was going to talk to you about. But basically, it was on the Carmelo Anthony case.
Okay.
I had I don't know if you remember, but like last year, I had actually tapped in on the X base. And I had DM'd Nikki and I was like, hey, I got some information because I talked to somebody like that was close to the family, but I didn't really want to go into all the details of like what they had told me. Just because I was thinking like, hey, I don't want this information to be like floating, around social media and then like the judge may say like, oh, we're not gonna let y'all like use this as like evidence or whatever. So, but either way, you didn't let me really, go into what I was trying to talk about, because I was like, okay, let me talk to you about some similar, cases or whatever, and you just really kind of wanted to know more so about that case. But basically, I'm gonna give you some information. I had looked up the activist that was working with the family. I think it's Dominique Alexander.
Okay.
Damn.
But yeah, I had looked him up. This was last year when he was, doing the press conferences and everything. And the reason I had looked up his organization, I think it's like Next Generation Action Network or whatever. But I was wanting to speak to. I thought it was probably going to be somebody that like worked for him or something, but I actually ended up speaking to him when I called the number, and that's who I had talked to.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. God damn, man. Good grief.
Oh my God.
Damn, man. It takes this dude forever to get to the point, brother. I give you a chance to get to the point, and you get to filibustering and just going on and on, brother. Come on, we have thousands of people here. You got to get to the point. We're going to land that plane, brother. Yes, he calls up. Listen, I got some information. We cannot do clause babble later. All right, people, information. TarIq, I got some deep information I got to share with you, okay? I reached out to Nikki the God. She ignored me. And some others, they ignored me. I reached out to Afro Elite and Black Alpha Nim, and I'm trying to get to you to give you this information. Now I got to meet with you in person because this information is that important. Now I got a briefcase that's handcuffed to my arm with some documents in the briefcase. Okay, this briefcase cannot be unhinged from my arm by no means at all, because the information is that important. Now I got
You
to meet
can.
with
It's
you.
easy to.
Let's set up a meeting at the museum.
Dorsey.
Let's set up a meeting at the museum, and then we can talk about this information. And then you meet with the person. Now listen, now when I open up this briefcase, now can you turn the cameras off in here? Can we turn all the cameras off? Okay, we can't have nobody see this. Okay, this is very, very pertinent information. Okay, listen what I have. This is very important. Now listen, I have Harriet Tubman's toenail. Okay, I am the sole possessor of Harriet Tubman's toenail. It's been passed down in my family for years. I discovered it in 1979 in my great grandmother's attic. My family is kin to Harriet Tubman. I have held this toenail. I've had it verified at the Asian nail shop down the street. I went down to the nail shop. They verified the authenticity of it. This is an authentic toenail from the Underground Railroad that belonged to Harriet Tubman. I'm telling you. We got big money on the table right now. Like, God damn. Come on, man. Damn. Get out of here, man. Come on. This is a family heirloom, okay? God. Oh, fuck. You see right here?
All right, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna land. Should I let Dorsey talk? All right. Dorsey, I'll give you 3 minutes. I hit Bobby up. Bobby said yes. Wiz Mason didn't say anything yet. I hit Bobby up. He said yes. He said he 3 minutes. So call in. I'll give you 3 minutes. Yeah. Because I guess they're looking at it now, and plus I started late too. I started late today. I started at 11, so that's not fully your fault. It's my fault because I started late. I was supposed to start at like 10:15. But It has to be on the topic that we're talking about. Was TarIq Nasheed right about the Democrats with reparations? That's the real question. So yeah, definitely call. Yeah, Wiz Mason didn't say anything, but Bobby said yeah. He said give him 3 minutes. Yeah, he said just give him 3 minutes. I was like, all right, cool. So yeah, definitely call. I think because you support the show, Dorsey, I think that's why. Other than that, yeah, I think so too. Hey, Dorsey, come on, call. But yeah, yeah, my people's like, yeah, Dorsey, yeah, he's solid. So yeah, this is what I say to even y'all Pan Africans or the Afrocentric organizations. I was like, yo, if you want to talk, I'm gonna be on some shit now where because Dorsey, you just gave me an idea. If you donate, you should call. You should be able to call for a certain amount of time. I think I want to do that now, but I'm gonna talk to my peoples about that today. I think that's important. But yeah, nah, I know Dorsey. Yeah, y'all be talking shit. Actually, I'll call you, Dorsey. Give me a second. Uh, I'm calling Dorsey, everybody.
Hey, morning, Bronze. Top of the morning
What's
to you.
going on, Dorsey?
Thank you. All I need is 3 minutes, okay?
3 minutes.
I'm getting straight to the point. First of all, Chewbacca, you never told us your educational level. You never showed us any job resume or showing us any practical experience that you had as organization or leadership. So when you sit up here and flap your gums and you claim that you have over 50 years of experience fighting out there in the street, but no organization recognize your name, nobody can vouch for you, that's why we doubt you. Now, I really, with Chewbacca, I really say it like this, Bronze. Give the man 3 minutes, cut his ass off. That's it.
He ain't getting that.
Because all it's going to do is show how lost the generation before us, the Pan-African generation, was.
I'm gonna do
Because when the
this.
kids here,
I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna let him talk once every 2 weeks. They
okay, that's
once
cool.
every 2 weeks, and it's only for be 5 to
But
10
if he
minutes.
come up off the money, he can jump on, right?
He ain't gonna though. I'm not even. I'm not even
Well,
gonna.
I'm just saying.
I don't even think.
I'm just saying.
I'm not even gonna put that in the universe because I know he's not gonna do it. So it's.
I know he ain't gonna do it, but let him know that if you want to talk more often, then you got to break bread.
Yeah.
Now, me, I'm willing to break bread anytime, especially when I get a chance to talk shit about people on the chat who talking shit. Because really, I want to get in Black King's ass, Snow Bunny King's ass.
Yeah, he ain't gonna do
because
that.
he's never told us his educational level. He never tell us whether he graduated high school, college, or whatever.
Yeah.
And what I think he is, I think he one of them GED niggas.
Oh,
right?
hold on. Go into the topic.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talking about the topic that we're talking about now?
Yeah.
About reparations, Democrats, and all that?
Yes. Was TarIq Nasheed right about the Democrats with reparations?
Oh, of course they are, because understand this. If you've ever dated anybody, you don't get shit unless you ask for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to play stupid, and then you're going to demand it. And you're going to say either you come off it or we ain't got no relationship no more. Those are the demands. Now, if they can't meet your demands, then shit, we move on. Because you need us. We don't need you. Let's keep that shit right, Democrats. You need us. We don't need you. We've been doing good all by ourselves. All these last 150 years of freedom, we've been doing good all by ourselves. Now, we've had people come and set us back, but ain't no way have we ever given up. And we going to keep on pushing this shit.
30 more seconds, 30 more seconds.
Okay, so now the Democrats got these tethers coming in here acting like, yeah, the reparations. No, we ain't want, because y'all do the bait and switch every fucking time.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question because you said that. Do you? Because you already know what happened. Do you think the Democrats influenced the immigrants to talk like that?
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you really see what Obama first came in, Obama was just to normalize, because we were on the verge of a rebellion again when George Bush left office, and they pushed Obama in to placate the masses, talking about change, right? So then, when we went ahead and invested our political clout into Obama, we didn't get shit out of it. You know, he told us, oh well, we gonna get your education and so forth. We're gonna have it so every black person can go to college. Well, what you did, Obama, was set every young black person who went to to get an upper education, you set them in a motherfucking hole, $100,000.
10 more seconds, Dorsey.
Before
10
they
more
even
seconds.
graduated.
I need you to
So then
land.
you wind up, huh?
I need you to land. I want you to say. I want you to. What you said was very good. So, with this last 10 seconds, I want you to answer this question. What TarIq Nasheed said? Do you think it was right when he said, "Yo, we're gonna have to force our hand, and when politically we're not gonna have to, we're gonna have to actually sit out and not support these people"? Do you think that's correct? And tell us why. You think you could tell us in 10 seconds or no?
I think we should set out this election. Let they ass learn. Let they ass learn that we not playing. Because see, they're gonna try to lead us on. Oh yeah, they're gonna talk reparations. Then when they get in office, they ain't gonna do shit. And then what can we do? What can we do once we elect them in office? Not a damn thing, right?
Yep.
But if we show their ass, hey, you will not get not one damn vote from us.
Thanks. Thanks.
Will then show them, because in 28 is when the presidential election's coming up. If we show their ass in 26, we not fucking with them, because they keep records.
All right, thank
you. So yeah, they'll probably get. I'm finna land my plane. Yes, the Democrats will get the congressional seats and everything, but their analysts are gonna go and they're gonna look and see that most of the FBA community sat on the couch, didn't even vote for them. So then they're gonna be they're gonna be really freaking out. And they're going to be like, well, we need them for the presidential elections. We need them. And to be honest with you, only one person who running on the Democrats has ever mentioned something about it. And who is that? Gavin Newsom from California.
Thank you,
and
Dorsey.
if we push his ass,
Dorsey,
and if we push him on that, we'll get what we go. I'm landing my plane.
All right.
Ms. Ramirez, can you please just take your luggage to the counter? Okay. Yeah, we got extra luggage, so I'm running through the plane, getting off the plane, landing the plane, going through the airport. Ms. Ramirez, she wants somebody to carry her in the cart, so I'm on by myself. Hey, landed the plane, see you left. FBA for life. And one thing I want to say, fuck you, Chewbacca, and fuck you, Black Snow Bunny. And that's from the heart, nigga. Y'all are tethers. Bye.
Have a good one, Dorsey. Shout out to Dorsey and Miss Ramirez. Um, yeah, I had a call on that one. I was seeing if should we do the 3 minutes because Dorsey said 3 minutes. He was stern about it. I was like, yo, let me call Bobby. I mean, let me text Bobby or Wiz Mason. Wiz Mason didn't say anything, but Bobby did. So he said, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. So we did the three. Well, it was like 6 minutes, but 3 minutes it was. I'm gonna land. I'm gonna say this. I think TarIq Nasheed was what he did was. I think it was a masterful plan. And the reason why I think it was a masterful plan because it ruffled feathers. It put a lot of people who were comfortable with just disrespecting black people and not giving black people anything. Um, they that gave them a sense of like, yo, you know what? This can happen when you disrespect black Americans, when you don't listen to black Americans. For a very long time, a lot of these Democrats were pushing against black Americans and I mean was undermining black Americans of not answering our questions. Now our questions are being answered because black Americans is like, okay, you don't want to answer our question, you want to disrespect us, we're gonna sit out. We're not the John Lewis of the eras. We're not the Martin Luther King of the eras. We are people who want answers. And when Kamala gave us that answer when she said she ain't gonna just do anything for just any black people, that gave us everything that we needed to hear. So I think a lot of people need to. I'm gonna say this: a lot of y'all Democrats and you Democrat should you need to write this down and say like this is the results you're gonna get if you're not gonna help Black Americans, if you're not gonna answer Black Americans' call. If you're not gonna give us an answer, you're gonna get the same results. So put that to your notes and say like, okay, yo, this can go left. We're gonna have a long day if we don't answer their questions. Another thing, I'm also gonna say this: a lot of you Democrats, you got to start taking notes too, and you better start cherishing the black vote. And it's gonna come to a point where whoever gives Black Americans reparations first, they're gonna have the vote. They're gonna have the black vote for the next 30 to 40 years. The next 30 to 40 years, and you're gonna see a difference. So Democrats also take that, write that down, and say like, "Yo, this is win or go home now." Because I'm gonna say this: if these Republicans give Black Americans reparations, I don't think the Democrats are gonna see another black vote population in the next 40 years. So that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna start giving my shout outs. We did a little quick show. I told y'all we're gonna do a quick show. Give me a second. All right, here we go. So shout out to Dorsey, Fresh Always, Black Snow Bunny King, Shabaka, FBA Convo, Dorsey again, JG11, Seaside Pool, and Robin from Kick. Salute to all of y'all. Thank y'all for watching my show. I really do appreciate that. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Take care.